Hi guys, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to apologise right off the bat for my voice. I am sick today, but we are soldiering on. And if I sniffle, I'm sorry, I'll do my very best not to. So I was just sitting down today to do a spot of planning, and I thought I will come on and show you guys what I'm using at the moment and maybe do a quick little plan with me, because I haven't actually used many stickers in this one yet. So yeah. This is the planner I'm using at the moment. It is a passion planner. I got this in the $1 sale that they were having recently. They were selling all their dated 2019 planners for $1 because we were halfway through the year and they must have had quite a few left. So for $1 and $10 shipping USD to Australia, I thought that was pretty reasonable. It ended up being around $16.50 Australian dollars, which I thought was fine for a 6 month worth of a good quality planner. So this is the rose gold one. It is beautiful. It has a beautiful shiny cover. It has a beautiful embossing on the front. I really love this. And this is the main reason I got it, to be honest. I love this cover in particular. And as far as I'm aware, they donate part of their profits to every planner sold to different charities, which I think is really good. So you can see it has a little bit of damage very slightly down on the corner here, and this corner has a bit of a, you can see a bend in it there. The only problem I have with this cover, it's very nice and sort of squishy and soft feeling, but if it bends, it has that bend in there forever. So you can see that crease is still there. Also, I think, yep, that top corner there, and I think at the back here, yep. So this was like this when I got it. It came in I think it was a padded envelope, but it did come overseas from America, and it was just in a envelope. So yeah, there was a little bit of damage to I think the bottom corner. Yep, that corner as well has a crease in it. But I really don't care. So you can see this is the breast cancer planner. So each different design has a different charity that they donate profits to, which I think is amazing. So it is a bound planner, which makes it nice and streamlined, which is an advantage for some people, but a disadvantage for others. So I'll sort of go through the pros and cons of this one that I've found so far anyway. The creasing is a con, I would say, but it doesn't bother me too much. And this is not a planner you reuse past the 12 months that it's full. You can't replace pages, so you know, at the end of 12 months it's probably looking a little shabby, but then you just put it on your shelf or put it away or throw it in the bin if you can do that. I'm not someone who can throw planners away, but you know, you do you. So this is a pretty awesome feature. It is a pocket at the back. It is a expandable pocket. It lies really flat. You don't notice it's there, but if you want to put things in, there's a lot of room in there to put things, which is really cool. And there's a couple of stickers in the back here. Yeah, just start. It's good advice for those of you who are saying, how do you start in a brand new planner that you don't want to ruin? You just start. So there's that. It's not super sturdy, I'm going to say. It is just glued on to paper sort of back here. So, you know, it's not meant to last past the 12 months. I'm going to say that. This is your start. If found, please return to. Pretty boring, standard. And then it has this sort of roadmap stuff. This planner is meant to be used to sort of really map out goals and your life and things like that. I'm not going to use that. I'm just not going to. I don't have time for that. The time I do have, I don't want to spend planning out goals that I already have a pretty good idea of how I want to achieve. But if this is something that might work for you, more power to you. You do you. Like I said, you can use this, you cannot use this. It's totally up to you. But you have the option. It really lays out how to achieve your goals. So make a wish list, prioritize, add specifics, create a timeline, make a date, work at it, blah, blah, blah. So really good if you're having trouble visualizing your goals or setting short-term goals, things like that. Really helpful. It is a US planner, so it does have the US holidays. I don't really care about that. I buy my Australian public holidays from Peaceful Mind Design, which I've already stuck into my 12-month monthly pocket size inset. So I buy these little public holidays, and I just go through and stick all those in for the year. Kind of wishing I hadn't done that now that I have this planner, but yeah, you live and you learn. Year at a glance, next year at a glance, really nice. And this is a good size page. It's bigger than A5, smaller than A4. I'm not sure that this would be a standard size. Just trying to find an A4. So that's an A4 sheet. So it's a decent size. Not too far off A4, but it's slim. So I find this really easy to actually chuck in my bag, even though it is so big. Month in a view, really big boxes. I really like that. You have a sidebar here, not a whole bunch of room taken up with decorative garbage, which I kind of like. Not that decorative stuff is garbage, but I am using this for study, so I don't want a lot of fuss. I like that it's clean and simple. Up here you have this month's focus, work and personal. Probably won't use that either. I don't really use the sidebar, to be honest, but it's there if you want to use it. People to see, places to go, not to-do list, which I kind of think is a cool thing to focus on, getting rid of bad habits if you want to do that. I think the only thing for me that would go in here would be no spend, probably. So not to do, spend money. Then you have a list down here for projects, personal and work. Again, I might use this. I like the idea of this. I tend to write things down, but then I never look at it again. So I prefer to keep a running to-do list, which you will see as I show you in a minute how I do that and how this planner works for that. So let's skip through to where I started using it, which was June, partway through June. So I pretty much started using this the day I got it, as you can see right here. And this was right at the end of semester. I was getting ready for my exams. So this is why I found this really helpful. So I started blocking out my, just zoom in a little bit so you can actually see. So I started blocking out my study blocks with, I just used a pastel highlighter to sketch around the box and then write study inside, and then setting aside things for like dinner, TV, bedtime routine, things like that. So yeah, I was just really focused on getting a good amount of study and revision done for my exams. Up here I've just got which week of the semester it is, so I can keep track of where I'm at. And then down here I had, so you have personal to-do list and work to-do list. I pretty much ignored the headers. I just used the checklist box. So down here I have all my revision that I wanted to get done this week. Well, this half the week. And I've just written that all down, and then I could just tick it off as I go. So I didn't have to plan out exactly which thing I wanted to review over here in my timed layout. I could just put it in my to-do list. So this is the time layout in case you couldn't see that. The light is really going in and out here at the moment, so I do apologize, but if you can see there, you have vertical layout, week at the top with the date, and then you have blocks of half-hour increments starting at 6 in the morning going to 10:30 at night, which is pretty good. Often my days will go longer than this, but I don't tend to have to actually write in things. So if I'm getting ready or leaving for work, I don't tend to have to. I rarely start before 6. So, I mean, sometimes I do, but I can just write it in there. It happens rarely enough that I don't have to worry about it. And I really don't have to write getting ready for work in my planner because that's a given, right? And then if I'm doing stuff after 10:30, it's just generally going to be study, and that's things that I can put down in my to-do list. And I also have this space down here. So they call this the space of infinite possibility, which is kind of funny, but it's just a blank space to put whatever you like, which is great because my needs do change from week to week depending on what I have on, and I really like this. So this was just a list, and it's just in pencil. I just scribbled that in really quick, a list of things I wanted to get done, and I could have put this here, but I wasn't sure how much I was going to fill this up with study stuff, so I just put it over here, and that's fine. This is a prime example. So here I have study until 12 a.m. So I kept going past 10:30, but I just put a little arrow and went to 12. So that's the only, I mean, that's fine. That works just fine for me. Sidebar over here. So this is, I don't know whether I mentioned this already, but this week's focus, and I ignored that. Obviously, I just put which week I want, which week I'm at for uni. So that needs to be really front and center for me. So I know exactly where I'm at and when things are coming up due and things like that. So that's right there. And I'm going to continue doing that probably. If I have, I might cover that with a glitter header if I have them. I'm not too worried about that. I tend not to look at headers that much anyway. This is a good things that happened box, which I think is a nice place for a full box if you want to put a full box. I'm not going to write stuff like that down. I might. I mean, it's a nice spot for journaling, but I just don't do it. I don't have time for it. I don't enjoy doing it. I try journaling. I just feel guilty that I'm not doing it. So I just sort of let it go. I have a pretty good memory for events and things like that. If I have anything really, really, really important to write down, I will tend to send myself an email with it to keep, because if I write it in a book, I have that many planners, that many books, it'll just get lost. So anything like that that's a memory that I want to keep, I will email it to myself, and then when I'm doing my scrapbooking, I can put it in my scrapbook. So that's how I do that. But if you journal, that is a nice spot to put a few lines about what happened that week. And then there's a quote down here, and then a sort of mindfulness thing down here. So this says, think about your 5 most memorable moments this year. For each moment, find a memento to put into your planner, and that changes each week. So like nice sort of thoughtful mindfulness things in this planner. I'm not going to use those. I'm not I'm not a mindfulness person, if that makes sense. Although I'm creative, I don't know. I feel like it's an assignment. And as soon as I feel that way, I don't want to do it. So it does not spark joy, so I don't do it. So this is the next week. Again, you can see I blocked out my study blocks, and then I have blocked out my exam blocks in a different color, and assignments in a different color. So I kind of color coded, not super in depth. I think any more than 3 colors and I start to get overwhelmed and I can't focus on it. So yeah, I like this system. It's very simple. Obviously no stickers still, because I was having my finals, so I had no time for fun stuff. But this worked really well for me. I could see everything that was happening that week at a glance. I have all my review down here. And then obviously I finished on the Friday. That was my last assessment piece there. So on Saturday, I just chilled the F out. I think I was actually really sick. I think I had to skip this exam because I was really unwell. Managed to submit this, thank God. But I was unwell for quite a few days. But this day I was just ill, so I didn't do anything. And this day I just had a few chores to do, so I've just listed those, not according to time particularly. I just sort of put them in my planner, almost like a to-do list. I could have put that down here, but then I may not have paid as much attention to it. And honestly, I couldn't tell you now whether I did those at that time. So who cares? I'm not that pedantic about it. I'm enjoying it so far. This week, some stickers. Finally, just a few. Again, I'm just sort of putting some chores in here as roughly what time I want to do them. Sort of if I want to do things in the morning, I'll put them in the morning. I don't really care if I do them in this order, but whatever. This didn't get done, so actually I put it on the wrong day by accident because I don't have admin on Monday, so I just put an arrow across to Tuesday and I got done that day. This still has some pencil that I haven't rubbed out. Rescheduled that. And then we had a movie night this night, so I just put a movie night sticker. I could write the movies we watched, but I don't really care all that much. And then up here I had work, so I just blocked out my work block with washi. It ended up being more like down here, but anyway. And then down here I had a shopping list, so I just put a little things at it and a heart checklist. And yeah, that worked really well. I was really happy with that. So I really like this space. It is blank, there's no dots, but if you have trouble writing straight, you can just put a checkbox in. I really like that idea. And then, so running to-do list. So I'm ignoring the work and personal. I'm more sort of doing like chores and then to do this week. So daily sort of tasks and then weekly tasks if it gets done this week. If it doesn't, I just flip the page over, and that's the end of the month. But I flip the page over to the next week and put them there. So the printing and dating photos didn't get done, so I just put them in the next week, and it just carries over. So I really like having a running to-do list. I find that I see it every time I open my planner. It's always there. If it hasn't been done, it's still there because I transfer it over. So once it gets ticked off, I don't transfer it over, it's done. So that is the best way I can find myself accountable for tasks that maybe, like things like, what do I always put off? Making dentist appointments. It's something that I always go, I need to do that, and then 5 minutes later I've forgotten them. So it's a good place for me to put my running to-do list things. Remind myself constantly that it still hasn't been done, and I go, well, that's been in there for quite a few weeks. I should probably do that. Okay, so they have this monthly reflection at the end of each month. I'm never going to use this. I'm just not going to. I'm looking at this and going, it feels like a work assignment or a school assignment, and yeah, straight away I don't want to do it. But it just gives you some prompts if you want to reflect, and I guess this is good for journaling if you can't think of what to journal. It asks you to think about memorable parts of the month, the biggest lessons you've learned, reviewing, and are you happy with how you spent your time this month? How are you different between this past month and the month before it? See, it's just too much thinking. I know that sounds crazy, but I do a lot of thinking. I'm a full-time student, I work, I have 2 kids, they both have additional needs, and I just have I have my YouTube channel, I have a lot on, so it's too much thinking for me. I think enough, and I'm never going to look back. I very rarely look back through my old planner, so I'm never going to look back on that. It really is not going to do anything for me, so I'm just leaving it blank, and I'm fine with that. I don't feel the need to have to fill everything in. Again, a blank roadmap, because I'm not going to use that. Then we have our month. I've actually filled this one in. I just use pen. I'm trying to just keep things simple at the moment. I'm struggling a bit with using my planner. I'm going through a bit of a phase of not touching my planner. So I really need to, because I just have a lot on, as you can see, quite a few things on. So I need to keep track, and just pen in this is working for me at the moment. And this is this week so far. I did make myself pick up a pen and use this yesterday. No, it's Wednesday today, so I didn't use this at all yesterday. But I spent the whole day printing photos. Oh, kill me. Nightmare. But it's done now. So, yeah, pretty much all I did yesterday. So I picked this up this morning to have a brighten it, set some goals, and I thought I will, I'll do a quick plan with me. This is my second week of uni holidays, so this week and then next week is my last week off, and then I am back to uni. So I may not stick a plan in this. Another reason I wanted to mention, there's a bookmark you can see. It's kind of ugly. I don't like that it's lime green. Why? But it's there and I've been using it. So these are, because they're bound, they open flat on your desk, which a lot of people will like. You can write on it easily with no coil in the way, whether you're left or right-handed, it doesn't matter. It's good for that. I like that. But because it's not coil bound, you can't fold under. So you can't just have it taking up this much space on your desk like you could with a coil planner, which I think I would take the coil and the annoyance of writing with the coil over having to have this whole thing spread out on your desk, because I am at spaces at a premium in my house. I do study in bed a lot because of my back. So I kind of would like to be able to fold it over and have a sort of sturdier thing to write on, if that makes sense. This is fine. It's okay if you've got a table that has plenty of room and you're always writing on a table. But if you're flipping this open on your lap in a vehicle where I'm on the bus a lot and you may sort of be bumping elbows with someone or like this. So I have to sort of move it like this, and then this might be pushing into the side of the bus or into my neighbor. So yeah, it's a little awkward like that. So it's just whether you would rather have it be able to fold over or not have the annoying coil to write on. Like I mentioned too, you can't take pages out and put them back in. You could probably washi tape a few pages in, but because it is bound, it is going to get chunky quickly. And that is another reason I haven't used too many stickers yet, because I am concerned that it's going to get pretty fat once I start putting stickers in, because I have seen coil planners like this. And yeah, it does have the elastic. It's pretty stretchy, so you could probably, you could still close it, which is kind of why I'm thinking I'm going to start using a few stickers in here just to see how it works, and if it does bulk up really big, and if that really affects the weight, etc. So, like I said, I just bought this for the 6 months just to give it a try. I'm really loving the layout at the moment. If I could find this layout in a coil planner, I would be in heaven, but I haven't found anything as of yet. So if you know of one that has this kind of layout with the checklist at the bottom and the timed, the EC, I don't like the full length, and I think the Whistle and Birch is the other one I was looking at. They have tiny little spaces with 1 hour increments, and to me, I already have small writing, and I struggle to fit everything in sometimes with the half hour. So yeah, just one line for each hour of the day is not going to work for me. That's another point. If you have large writing, this is not the planner for you at all. I have small writing and it just fits, and I have had people comment on how small my writing is, so you can see my writing fits nicely, but it is tiny writing. It's not big. And even my cursive is starting to taking up a lot of those lines. So yeah, if you have big writing, this is not for you. You might be able to make it work, but it's going to be squeezy for you. So I wouldn't, unless you absolutely love the layout and you can't find an alternative whatsoever. Okay, so I have pulled out my Natty Planning Floral Love Sampler. I thought this would be a really nice choice because I don't want to fill out my days full of stickers. And this is just the sort of right amount of stickers to do a minimal spread with. I really love these samplers. They're probably if I don't know what I want to do this week, if I don't want to fuss around, I just pull one of these out. They're perfect. I love them so much. And I just ordered a bunch more in the $2 Tuesday that she had recently. Oh, love these so much. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, if I've missed anything, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. And obviously this is going to be a very white space spread, so yeah. Also, I will just let you know that they are not EC sized, the columns, so I've really got to, I'll really have to have a bit of practice with this and see how stickers work best. So that's pretty good. So you can see it's a little bit too skinny for the sidebar, and I think they fit pretty well in the columns. Where is it? But yeah, like they'll either have a little bit left on the edge here or a little bit left on the time part. So I'm not that worried about it, honestly. At this point, it was cheap, and I'm going to be doing minimal stickering in this anyway, but it's something to keep in mind if that is going to irritate you. If you want stickers that fit perfectly, don't buy this one.